Hey everybody, welcome back to Shelf Life Lego for our first official video of 2025. I apologize for the delay since the last video, but my computer broke and I had to get a new one before I could make another video. So before we get into today's build, I just wanted to share the progress that I made last year and to see how far we've come on the channel before we start into today's build. So let's see what we're getting into. So during one of our last builds, we added an extension onto our town hall. And I think for today, I'm going to go ahead and add the other wing to the town hall. So let's go ahead and get started. So this build is going to be in the same format as the other wing, obviously just flipped or inverted. So I went ahead and put the first layer of tiles and the foundational plate for our first floor in here, and we can go ahead and get started with our build. Again, since this is just the inverse of the other side, I'll go ahead and spare you the pain of watching me struggle through putting up some of these walls. So I figured I would just show you the difference on the inside. So here's the inside of our space, and what this space is going to be is just kind of like a little office annex. So I'm going to go ahead and put in some desks, and these are essentially modeled more so after the desks from the Office set. Actually, I think the exact build. So just one on each side. And then we'll go ahead and on the far side, we're going to do 1x6. And the same on the near side. And in the middle, 4x6 to connect them. And here are our desks. So on the far side, we have someone who'll be working at her desk here, looking out the window, and I'll give her a keyboard and a mouse. And of course, the all-important red coffee mug. And then just a computer screen here. And pretty much the same thing on the other side as well. Got our computer screen here with our keyboard. And this mouse as well. Pretty much the only difference is I'm going to give her a little bit of a fancier lamp. One of those kind of old school lamps you see in old-timey movies. And she's got a little desk lamp there. And then inside, just some artwork for the walls. Got a little tree. Another bridge. And butterfly. And then in this corner, which will be near the door, just have a plant for the corner. And then this side over here, we're going to have a filing cabinet. So just headlight bricks with some tiles. It looks enough like a filing cabinet. Put that in here. And then we have a globe. Put here. And then I'm going to make some files out of one of these bracket pieces. So I got a couple of stacks of plates. Add that there, and then add a plate and a tile. And we got some files. And I'll go ahead and put in our other chair. And our other worker. And I think that makes a good little office. So I put on the rest of the first floor, and that will be the entire base. And again, to go up against the rest of the building. And it adds quite a bit of substance to the town hall and makes it look pretty grand. And then we'll go ahead and build our second floor. So here we have the base of our second floor. And what I decided to do for this floor was make kind of a public records room. A place to keep, marriage licenses or city planning document, whatever the case may be. So we're going to go ahead and make some file shelves. We'll start off with one of these modified tiles and put a few regular tiles in here. Three of them. And then to end it with another modified tile. And then on our first side, just a plate, brick, and another plate. And on the far side, a couple of plates with a snot piece. And then I went ahead and created this stack of documents. Maybe this looks like some of them are being pulled out, but just different sizes, different colors. Actually. And we can go ahead and stick that in here. And then we can put it on our outside. And then I went ahead and created another level. I guess the only difference is it's got this Technic pin, so I can put on one of these steering wheels. I don't know if you've seen one of those filing systems where you can spin this and it goes back and forth. So that's kind of the idea with that. And then that will be our filing. And I went ahead and did the same thing on, we'll do over here as well. We have a second one, and then just this, the second shelf isn't quite full of documents yet, but we can add that right there. And we have our two shelves. Now go ahead and put the walls in, and we can move on from there. So here we have our second floor completed, and I will add it to what we just did. I actually forgot to add the initial door down here, so I'll put that in as well. And we can add this. Back it up a little bit. Can add the second floor and put in the door for the second floor. That rhymed. All right, and then I think that's looking good. And we can go ahead and put that over against our town hall. And it's coming right along. So we can move on to our roof section over here. So I just went ahead and completed the entire roof, as there's nothing super special about it. It's the exact same thing as the other roof, but we can go ahead and put it on our current structure and see what it's looking like. I think that looks good. So let me get it next to the town hall. We can take a quick look. And I can't quite get it all in frame, but it's looking good. This is the first time I've seen it all together, and I think it's accomplishing what I set out to do, making it more of a statement piece in the city and giving it a little bit more substance. And pan up a little bit. So I think that's going to look hopefully good in the city. And I can basically just finish off with some decorations out front here, and then we can go ahead and put it in the city and see how it looks. So I'm just going to add some plants, bushes, trees over here, just like I did on the other side, just to kind of give it some balance. And I'm going to start by adding one of these 2x2 plates with a hole in the middle. And I like to use this bush style or this plant style, probably too much. But just start with a stem piece, and then you add a leaf piece with a flower. I'm sure this is pretty common. Just go ahead and layer these around. I'm using red and white because this is what was used, the color combination used in the original set. Just get them any way in there you can. And then once you get them all in there, you can just stick it on top of this base. And then you have a little plant. So go ahead and put the other one in as well. There we go. And for our tree, again, I use this for a lot of my tree trunks. It gives a little bit of texture. But to start off, use one of these fez pieces, and then one of these round pieces with a bar on it. And then we'll put that here. And then we can just kind of build our tree trunk off of that using these Technic connectors. And I use the 1x1 round to plug some of the holes. And we can add that here. And then off of here, I'm going to use one of these tail pieces with a one of these bar pieces in here, just to make it a little bit different than the other side. And then off of this piece, I'm just going to add one little leaf. And then for the top of the tree, I don't remember where I originally saw this piece or this technique, or I'd give it credit. But just some of these stem pieces, and I put two together. And then it's essentially these 5x5 or these 5-piece leaf pieces with these put in them. Same technique used on the other side. And you just essentially just layer them in here and attach them however you want. I'll go ahead and do this off camera so I don't drop it 50 times. Okay, I got most of them in there. The amount of times I dropped them was shocking. But you can also link up multiple groups, and it gives you some nice little effects. Attach that as well. And then for this backside, because it's going to be so close to the building, all I'm going to do is just put one leaf piece just to cover it up. And in the center, I have one of these twig pieces, just with a few attached to that, just to give it some substance as a canopy. Put those in there. And then we can attach this to our tree trunk. And then kind of manipulate that any way you want it to look. I think that was pretty good. And then finally, we're going to add a statue just like the other side as well. So I have a 2x4 piece here. Same thing over here. And then I'm just going to add some of these corner slopes, or throw them, either way. And then add one of these bracket pieces, just in dark gray to give it a little bit of color variation. About 2 plate, and then a couple of jumpers so I can rip out the tree. Sausage fingers and Lego do not always go well together. All right, and then same as the other side, like a little gold plate to describe what the statue is. And then I thought it would be fitting. If you know, you know. It has inspired me to do YouTube in a city just in general. And I think that's going to do it for that side. So here we have our completed town hall. Both wings and the original modular set. And it looks pretty substantial. So I'm hoping it looks as substantial when I put it in my city. So I'm going to go ahead and move it on over to the Lego room and see how it looks in place. So here is what it looks like roughly in place in the city, and I think it looks pretty grand. I like the extensions. It kind of gives it more substance and kind of grandeur in the city. I got a few things to do around it, but this is roughly where it will be. I had the idea of making this entire area a park, but I think I might have to extend this promenade area or these mini modulars out a little bit further, maybe down to here or even further down to here. I don't have these quite in place yet, but I'm working on that. But the idea was to have the town hall kind of center city and then have a big park across from it. And so I got this to go across from it. I'll slide that into place. And so that will kind of be the view, or right across from that. I have them facing each other because I imagine that you'd be going in the main entrance from the main street, even though the back is a little less appealing. So I might play with that if anybody has any ideas with that, or even or things around to put in the park. I'm all ears. But I think for now, for our first video, that is going to do it. So I guess I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.